conscience clean. The question is, are we fellowshipping with the Spirit? That's the question. The Holy Spirit will wash our conscience clean. We don't wash our own conscience clean.
Right.
We can't go sit in the corner and think about how we're not supposed to have a sin conscience and find that to be unto freedom from a sin conscience.
Don't think that.
No, that can't happen. Which you hear the truth that is the Spirit, and as I fellowship with this truth that is the Spirit, that truth will now wash my conscience clean from sin. And sin is talking about a wisdom. And part of that wisdom is that I'm defined by the flesh. And so as the Holy Spirit washes my conscience clean from sin, it washes my conscience clean from the old man that thought he was defined by the flesh. And what it does is it creates in me a persuasion that the new man is the only truth about my life. And now I start being clothed upon by that new man. And now my heart starts being painted, or the image in my heart starts being painted of that new man about who I am, instead of the old man. And then I start experiencing the life of a new man, which is created in what? True righteousness and holiness.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
True righteousness and holiness.
Yeah.
A righteousness that didn't come from me looking at God and saying, well, I see what God thinks. I see what God says. I see what He does. I see the life that He experiences. Now let me go do that. You see? That's false righteousness. That's the righteousness after the law, where you take the fruit of God's life, you paint a picture of it, and you say, here, go bring this forth. Bring forth His thoughts, bring forth His feelings, and bring forth His fruit. That's a false righteousness. You can never bring forth that kind of a thing. You can never imitate that kind of thing, because all those things are born from His Spirit. The Spirit in Him that He's one with brings forth His thoughts, His feelings, and the fruit of His life. So the only way we can find us having the same thoughts and feelings and fruit that God has is as if His Spirit comes and lives in us and brings it forth in us. It's the only way. It's the only way it can happen. So we've been created in true righteousness, meaning that the new man finds his thoughts born from the Father thinking in him. The new man does not find his thoughts born from, well, I see this is the proper thought to have, now let me make sure that I have it. You see, the new man doesn't find his life born from, well, this is what I'm supposed to feel, so now let me bring forth this feeling. This is supposed to be the fruit I should have, so now let me bring forth this fruit. That's not the new man. The new man finds the Spirit bringing forth all these things in them through the hearing of the faith. Which is the same thing as the hearing of the Spirit. It is the Spirit of faith. How do we have fellowship with the Spirit? Whenever we're hearing the faith that was made flesh in Jesus, the only faith, we're doing like a dance with the Spirit. We're dancing with the Spirit whenever we're hearing somebody preach the faith. It's like we're doing a dance, a waltz around the room with the Spirit. We're fellowshipping with the Spirit. The Spirit's twirling us around. The Spirit is creating His truth in our hearts. He's washing our conscience clean from the carnal mind. He's actuating our thoughts with God's thoughts. He's actuating our feelings with God's feelings. And then we start finding fruit being born in us. That's how it works.